Good morning, y'all, from the Double L, Land Oak, Texas. Welcome to another quick one from the $ Hit Show TX. Just want to kind of start out talking about something that's been on my mind lately. Two things, actually. I love my state of Texas. We're going to talk about two issues facing us. They raise a real simple question, is whether or not if Texas is really living up to its potential. I don't know if we are or not. So recently, Texas was ranked the second worst state to live in. Of course, take a study with what you will. It was a CNBC study, Quality of Life, ranking that placed Texas as the second worst state to live in America. Of course, we know it's the greatest country in America to live in. Gave Texas an F grade in several quality of life categories, and they are as follows. It includes healthcare access, worker protections, crime concerns, and the nation's highest uninsured rate. Now, at the same time, Texas continues to rank near the top for business, workforce, and economic growth that it can be experienced from a business here in the state of Texas. So, that's quite a contradiction if you ask me. We're worst and where we're living, and we're best if you're a business. It's not a lie that Texas is one of the strongest economic engines in the country. Companies continue to move here, jobs continue to be created here, people continue to relocate here for their jobs. Weather can be kind of iffy, we know that sometimes. But the real question is, we're doing so well economically, why are we still struggling in the areas that really directly affect everyday Texas life? I don't know that answer. Why is healthcare access, affordability, infrastructure, and quality of life metrics that are being used to measure these things still major concerns? I don't think this is really a political party issue BS. I think it's needs to be about results and how we go about figuring out how to make this a Texas and number one in all categories, right? I just don't know if we can be number one in growth and how that doesn't make us automatically number one in quality of life. The question Texas really should be asking, in my opinion, is pretty damn simple, is, are we building a straight state that's great for businesses, great for families, or are we building a state that's great for both? Topic number 2. Of course, we had another terrible round of Texas flooding disasters, almost a little over a year from our last one, which was terrible in its own right. And, while Texans debate rankings, like we were just talking about, Mother Nature has once again reminded us of another challenge we face, and we face this one all the damn time for some reason. I don't understand that either. This week, let's see, 2 weeks ago now, Texas Hill Country, which included Bandera, Medina, surrounding counties, Kerrville, of course, again, Comfort, Centerpoint, all those areas had another significant flooding event after just rainfall that came through the area like nobody's seen again. Meteorologists, they'd warned of the potentially catastrophic flooding conditions once again, which, I'm not debating last year's, I'm just telling you about this year's. And we got some extraordinarily large amounts of rainfall in such a short period of time that it screwed us again. Flood watches were issued, emergency responses kept going across the whole area again, from South, Central Texas, you name it, it was in the area. And then, of course, we had Bertha coming back to town later on that last part of that next week. So a personal perspective to add here from you is, if you don't know, I was in public safety in a big city for 25 years. I have worked many of these disasters, large scale, small scale, local scale, firsthand. I've worked with some of the greatest people that I've ever been around in floodwaters, I mean, all kinds of emergencies. And I've watched those particular responders. They'll leave their families behind every time to go rescue complete strangers. I've seen neighbors. This is one thing that's great about Texas. Neighbors are helping neighbors, you know, when everything is going down. You know, we all want the government to come fix us, but the neighbors are coming to get you first. So I don't know what you do about that either. But then when we go and look back at these incidents, the same type of questions come up every time. Are we doing enough to prepare? Obviously, I'd say, I guess we're not. Our warning systems that are in place, are they reaching people quickly enough? I could say that, once again, I don't know that they are. Are we investing enough time, effort, money, resources into flood mitigation and infrastructure to help with those problems? I think that's a question we're going to have to ask somebody. Are we learning from previous disasters? I do think we do learn from previous disasters, but at the same time, it is Mother Nature, and I don't know that we can control her. The Texas Hill Country, once again, has been known as Flash Flood Alley, in case some of you newer folks are coming to town. And it's because of the geography, the topography, and the history that we've had of devastating floods in this area. It's not a new problem. Major flood events, they've occurred repeatedly for decades, including last July 2025, this July 2026. I think it was 1987, where the school bus that made news out in Comfort killed people. And it's a terrible thing. You had the Onion Creek floods down in Austin years ago. And let me start here. This is not a criticism of first responders and all those people that do it. Those heroes, they show up, they always show up. But I think we need to start asking some real serious questions, is whether the planning showed up before they had to. You know what I mean? Texans are resilient. We always have been. We help each other. But at what point should resilience not be the entire emergency management strategy that we go with for these type of disasters? And this is not strictly just flooding. This could be wildfires too, because we've seen it here as well. So I just want to say a couple more things. You know, Texas is one of the strongest economies in America, yet ranked near the bottom in the quality of life. I'm not sure if I really agree with that, but I guess it depends on each individual, and I'm okay with that. You know, Texas is filled with some of the hardest working people and most dedicated first responders that we have in this state and in this land, yet we continue to face the same flood challenges year after year, wildfire challenges year after year. I think the real question that we're going to have to ask everybody isn't whether Texas is really the great Lone Star state, but maybe we start questioning is whether maybe are we willing to address the problems that keep showing up on a repeated basis on an emergency perspective report card, an economic report card, a quality life report card. That's what we need to be figuring out so we can mitigate these problems in advance. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, if you give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, share it with your family, friends, we appreciate it. And remember this, what's the bigger issue facing Texas today? This is the question. Is it our quality of life rankings or our continued struggle with disaster preparedness that we face what seems like every year? Y'all have a great Tuesday. I hope you have a great week. I love you, Texas. We'll see you again.